As part of Makerere University's centenary celebrations, the institution has honored one of its outstanding alumni, Julius Kambarage Nyerere, who would be 100 years this year. Makerere University's Vice-Chancellor Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, in his remarks, said Nyerere contributed greatly to the intellectual development of the university.
So it is an important event for us to celebrate one of our most prominent alumni, the first African Chancellor of our university. When we were still the University of West Africa, he was the first African to be a Chancellor, and also one of the very first to graduate out of the university when it had become a University College of the University of London.
Professor Eddie Maloka from South Africa, who was also a keynote speaker, noted that there is need for African leaders to emulate Nyerere's legacy and his nationalistic approach in order to arrest the existing challenges that Africa is facing, ranging from instabilities to integration.
Therefore, we say, long live Mwalimu Nyerere. You may not be with us in person today, but you are always in our thoughts as a teacher, a role model, an inspiration, and as a leader who stood for justice and lived by the principles that you taught all of us, your generation, and those of us whose lives you have touched through your writings and indeed through the rich life you live.
The Tanzanian ambassador to Uganda, Azizi Mlima Ponari, applauded the institution for Nyerere's centenary celebrations and challenged the youth to take lead in championing Pan-Africanism and mind liberation, who he says are the future of the African continent.
And we need to have research, innovation, and technology independence. And once we do that, we may be able to achieve the economic independence and then later financial independence. Because Africa, without being able to invest in science and technology and innovation, will always be dependent on technology and everything else coming from abroad. And therefore, the challenge to the young generation is to work very hard in science, technology.
A Makerere University political science lecturer, Dr. Lumumba Bwire, says that African leaders ought to draw lessons from the fallen Pan-Africanists like Nyerere and adopt a selfless life for successful leadership.
Nyerere was an honest Christian. He did not steal anything. He was a very honest Christian. Only that he had wrong policies. That's what prevented Tanzania from developing. We have a leadership crisis. So what we want in the African continent, we want in the Nyereres of this world with the right policies.
Some of the participants highlighted on the lessons learned during the 100-year symposium.
Student of Makerere University, but also the president of Tanzanian students in Uganda. Today it has been a good day for us. We are celebrating the symposium, actually the 100 years of Mwalimu Nyerere, but also the 100 years of Makerere University.
It's significant because Makerere is celebrating 100 years, and one of its most famous alumnus, who is Nyerere, would have been also 100 years this year.
As Makerere University marks its 100 years, today is also a day that Makerere University celebrates its icon, not just a teacher who taught on this great university, but as a politician and an activist who contributed tremendously to the liberation of different countries in Africa. Saddam Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.